with Shaun Attwood. I'm going to talk to him about his prison experience. So, tell me where you were banged up firstly, Shaun.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona, right? So, what were you doing over in the States?
Well, I used to visit Arizona as a young person, you know, going from a little town in the northwest of the UK, and I was dazzled by the standard of living out there. Swimming pools in backyards, big cars, that kind of thing. I thought, alright, when I finish uni, this is the place to go, you know.
Yeah.
To make money, because I was materialistic back then.
Yeah, of course. Glamorous lifestyle and everything, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
You were going over there a little bit, were you, before you got banged up?
Yeah, visiting as a teenager, go out and visit my aunts, and that dazzled me. And then went on to Liverpool Uni, did business studies.
Yeah.
And then I went out to actually work in the stock market.
Right,
yeah.
Right. So stock market for a while, and then tell me about the lead up to your offence.
Okay, it's to do with the rave scene. The stock market was the way I made my money, but I started to throw massive raves, up to 10,000 people at a time.
Oh, really?
Raving began in the UK. It was like a revolution in music when I was a young person. You know, prior to raving, it was all snooty. You had to line up at a nightclub, shirt and tie and all that. But all of a sudden, young people just breaking into buildings all over the country, warehouses, like Burton Wood, airplane hangars.
Yeah.
A lot of it happened in Manchester, just down the road here.
Yeah.
And, you know, that just blew me away.
You like that scene?
I like that scene because I went from being like a shy teenager with a little bit of anxiety to just being this absolute party animal. Yeah.
Wow. So you got into the rave scene.
Yeah.
You started throwing your own raves at big events and stuff.
Yeah.
In the UK.
No, in Arizona.
Oh, in Arizona.
Yeah. I was a participant in the rave scene in this country.
Yeah. Went
to America and I worked, you know, hard for about 5 years, and I made a couple of million in the stock market.
Wow.
Just from having no money whatsoever. You know, I went out on my student credit cards and I ended up with more money than common sense. It went right to my head. You want me to do this? Yeah, just throw rave parties for thousands of people.
Yeah.
Wasn't any ecstasy out there, was there? So that was a problem.
Yeah.
So I started to buy ecstasy from local dealers. They didn't have enough. Started to buy it out of LA. They didn't have enough. And then I started to have people importing tens of thousands of hits from Amsterdam. So, you know, it was my own daft fault that I broke the law and the SWAT team came.
SWAT team?
Yeah.
The SWAT team came for it?
Yeah, SWAT team, not just for me. Over 100 people who were arrested with me in my case were SWAT team raided.
Wow.
One guy, it was on like the head of my security team, he was on a motorway, called him a freeway out there, and he's noticing a helicopter all day like in Goodfellas. And he's driving from one side of Phoenix to the other. You know, it's about an hour to get from one side to the other, and he's thinking, the helicopter's still there, I'm not paranoid. Next thing, a motorcade of police bikes surround him and took him off the road. That was how he got arrested.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite dramatic. That's far more dramatic than how I was arrested, at least. Like a Fiat Punto running me over.
Well, it worried the hell out of us because we're thinking they spent big money on this.
Yeah.
There's going to be a price to pay.
So, got arrested. What was the first thing that ran through your mind when you realised what was happening, let's say?
When the SWAT team came in, my heart almost leapt out of my chest because when they come in, hands above your heads, get on the ground now, you know, my door just leapt off the hinges. And we were just coming to open it, me and my girlfriend. Next thing, you know, they're yelling at us, the guns open up, we're like, oh my god, we're going to get shot. My life's over in seconds, basically, if they open up.
Yeah, wow.
So I just fell down and they crushed us and grabbed us up. And they were like, you know, this is because you were a big name from the raves, you know, that's what they said.
Right.
Well, I'd actually quit dealing by then because I'd met this lady and she talked me out of it. But I was naive to the law, statute of limitations. They've got 7 years to catch you if it's a drug offence.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So they kind of followed the trails and eventually it came back to you?
Yeah, they followed the trails. A lot of people had given my name in over the years. They tried to get infiltrators of undercover cops, but we saw them coming a mile off. And in the end, the judge authorised them to listen to all of our phone calls.
Oh, wow.
And I was actually only recorded doing personal use because I couldn't quite kick my drug addiction.
Right. Okay.
And that's what got me in the end. Yeah.
Wow. So So you'd actually quit the distributing and the drug dealing at the point that you were arrested, but you're still using a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. And then big arrest, boom. What happened to that girlfriend as well? Did she stay with you or?
Oh my goodness! I was blessed to have met such a good woman, but I was destined to lose absolutely everything, including her.
Oh.
Yeah, she stuck with me for about 2 years after my arrest. Prosecutor did all these dirty tricks on me, and they ended up charging her a year after the SWAT team came with one prescription pill found in our medicine cabinet that didn't have a written prescription with it, which was a Class 6 felony. Co-defendants can't visit co-defendants.
Oh no.
Yeah, so she was stopped. She was my lifeline. She was stopped. It was all about breaking me down psychologically.
Yeah. That sometimes happens in prison, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So wow. And then you got remanded straight away, presumably.
On remand for 26 months. My
26
bail was $750,000 and it was raised to $1.5 million.
Wow.
A year in.
So long remand time, presumably, because it was a really complicated, huge case.
Yeah.
And then got sentenced.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, how was your remand time?
The remand time was the hardest part because they make it really tough because they want you to just break down and sign what's called a plea bargain.
Oh yeah.
98% of the cases you will not take it to trial because that costs the state money. So they want everyone just to sign a plea bargain. So it's completely gang controlled. You know, to this day, I prefer to sit with my back against the wall in a restaurant. I feel safer because my adrenaline just did not stop. As soon as I went in, heads are getting bashed against toilets, the noises of people, bodies hitting toilets and walls I'm familiar with.
Wow.
I was lucky in the sense that some big guys were arrested with me, including some of my bouncers, including my best mate, Wildman from my hometown. He was protecting me.
Right.
Yeah.
So a huge amount of you went down, so you had some friends inside, so to speak.
Yeah, I got arrested with some people.
Wow.
Yeah.
So remand time, 26 months, and then big sentence.
Well, no, I got it reduced. They told us it was going to be 200 years. Every time I spoke about drugs carries 5 to 10 years. And then if I go to trial, I had 20 plus charges, so 200 years.
Right.
But my parents, they come up with money. They're not rich people. They remortgaged the house, cashed in their retirement accounts, and come up with all this money for a lawyer because if you don't have money out there, you're buried alive.
Yeah.
It's all about money in America.
Oh, it's nice that your parents at least were backing you at this
Absolutely, yeah, I'm blessed.
Yeah. So, reduced sentence, still a big sentence though.
9.5 years in the end.
9.5 years you got.
And as a first time non-violent drug offender, I only had to serve just under 6.
Okay.
I consider myself lucky because I met people in there doing decades for drugs.
That's so crazy. It's weird, like listening to someone else talk about the sentence, and it's a very similar outlook to what I had for mine, but mine was like 12 times less than yours or something.
So how long was yours?
Mine was 14 months.
Right.
14 months and
But
10
still,
years.
that first year is the hardest part.
Well, someone said to me inside that whatever time you serve, it's long enough.
Yeah.
Because I met a guy who was only doing 3 months inside as well, and he struggled a little bit on some parts of it. And I think it's just for whatever you go in, whatever you're dealing with, the amount of time that you get put in front of you when they said that 200 years, you're just like, oh my god. Like I got told 5 to 7 years. Just
right.
So the fact that it was a bit less, I was like, oh, thank God for
That's
that.
how they do it. They're like used car salespeople. If I say 200, you'll sign for 10. That's how they look at it.
You think 10's a bargain, yeah? Oh
yeah,
my
exactly.
god, I'll take that.
Give me the 10!
Yeah, I'll take 10 any day.
Honestly, getting sentenced to 9.5 years was one of the happiest days of my life. Because all that uncertainty, I've been on remand thinking I was getting 200 was over.
Yeah, that was the bad part about remand, isn't it? The
Not knowing what
uncertainty.
you're going to get.
Yeah.
Is your life over?
Yeah. Because I had loads of people winding me up going, oh, you're getting 10 years plus.
Yeah.
And I bet you got a similar thing as well.
Oh, yeah, you're never getting that, all that kind of thing.
Everyone's an expert on law. Aren't they? Everyone knows, no, you're getting this.
Jailhouse lawyers.
Yeah. So then you went to a big prison. What did you go? Did you stay in one prison then for the remand sentence?
First 26 months was the Maricopa County jail system in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
I was in medium security my first year, maximum security my second.
Okay.
And then in the Arizona Department of Corrections, I did every single security level, working my way down from super maximum security to minimum.
Right. So out of all of those prisons then, would you say they were workable? Could you live in them? Were they okay, or were they terrible?
Well, in the remand jail, I ended up losing about 2 stone. The food, 2 meals a day. It was all rotten food, past its sell-by date. But even the boxes said, not for human consumption. The breakfast was a green bologna sausage meat that had gone past its sell-by date and had a green shine to it. The bread, all mouldy or rock hard. We got used to all the different colours of mould: blue, brown, psychedelic.
You just pick off the mould and crack on.
Yeah, you do, because you're so hungry. You just remove the part of the bread that's got the mould on it, and then the rest of the bread, if it's too hard to chew, then you just put it in water and swill it down. I ended up living off peanuts and peanut butter and Snickers bars, because I could spend like $10, $20 a week at the commissary.
Yeah.
Then the evening meal, that was a slop. We called it Red Death, mystery meat slop, and it sometimes had dead rats in it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
As a rare treat, just occasionally.
It was rare. It wasn't every night. Nearly long strands of human hair nearly every night. And the one time we gave a rat back to the guards, and they said they would investigate, and they came back so that the jail won't get any trouble, and said it was just a potato.
So if you could confuse a potato for a rat.
Well, legally we didn't have the evidence anymore.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. So not great then. Not a great review.
It's all out in the desert as well. It's almost 50 degrees, the Sonoran Desert.
Oh yeah.
And there was a ventilation system, what's called a swamp cooler.
Right.
And that means air goes over water, it's supposed to cool it down. It comes through the vents into the cells and keeps the cells cool.
Yeah.
Only time it was working properly was when the health inspector came through once every 6 months, and then it went right back to the broken setting. So we're covered in sweat all day long. We're getting skin infections, bed sores, especially on our butts, because we're sat on these little stools or on our bunks reading.
You just get covered with oil and
sweat, and then your skin turns soggy, so you're itchy because you've got all these sores, and you scratch yourself. And clumps of your own skin come off, under your nails.
Because of the humidity, isn't it? The amount of humidity in the air.
Humidity, because of the swamp cooler. I remember one night I was lying on my side, sleeping, ear filled up with sweat. I turned over, I didn't know, and the sweat just trickled all over my face. Thought someone was touching me, coming to get me. I freaked out. Yeah.
Oh, so not a great review.
No, I wouldn't recommend it.
No. So, tell me a bit about the cellmates that you had when you were inside. First one, I think, is always a big one.
All right, the first couple of days I was in holding cells in what's called a horseshoe, and the building's in the shape of a horseshoe, and you're going from cell to cell. You can't sleep or anything. It's just helter-skelter. They bring in new arrestees in, drunken people who are high, people who've been tasered and beat up by the cops, and fights are breaking out. There's blood on the walls, and the guards don't care about the fights, and there's people getting dragged out and strapped in these medieval torture devices called restraint chairs, and then they put spit hoods on their heads, and
wow.
So that was harrowing.
Yeah, damn.
Then I go to Towers Jail. My first cellmate's there. One of them looked like a homeless Jack Nicholson, and the other guy, they suspect him of being a chomo, it's called, a sex offender.
Right, chomo.
So next thing, he's in the shower, getting the crap beat out of him by the white gang, and then this big guy goes, how come we can still hear him? He's still screaming, he was in a pool of blood, and he's trying to crack this guy's head open like it's a coconut. This guy looks dead. Guard does a security walk. We go back to our cells, look through the window to see what the damage is, and there's not just blood coming out of his head, there's yellow fluid like brain stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Presumably he didn't live.
Don't know, because they just get taken out. They look like they're dead, and unless the family members sue and it comes up on the news, you just don't know. Wow. 62 people died in that jail around the time I was there, over 5 years.
And just majority are swept under the rug, so to speak.
Yeah, they don't want any publicity, and they don't want to pay compensation.
Wow, that's hardcore. So first wing sounds horrific, and then tell me about your progression through the prison system.
Alright, so I got moved then from medium security to maximum security after a year. And that was completely cockroach infested. It was a really old building, so there's cracks all over the walls. 2-man cells, which was better, but Not when you're living with 10,000 cockroaches. They knew when the lights were going to go out. They'd line up like an army, just waiting to invade in the cracks.
Really?
Yeah, and they just do this like shuffle with the antennae. You see, like I got very familiar with the characteristics of cockroaches over this remand period, the second year.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the lights went out, that was it then. They just come in with rustling noise.
And what do they do? They just climb over everything, they just scavenge.
Over everything, scavenging. They eat anything. They'll eat like pieces of... They try and get in your ears to eat your earwax, which is one of the worst.
Oh my God.
I woke up with them so many nights, tickling my hands and feet. To this day, if anyone tickles my hand, I flinch.
Yeah.
And that's why I lost my mind at that point, because I couldn't sleep with them crawling on me. I had all these bed sores, skin infections, pink eye infection, yellow pus coming out my eye, and they're telling me I'm facing a 200-year sentence.
Yeah.
Stop my girlfriend from visiting me. I think I might as well just kill myself at this point.
Really? Was that the darkest moment of your sentence?
It was the darkest moment. You know, I was going to do it after a guard does a security walk, get this blade out and just cut my wrist. And but I thought, before I do this, I'm going to say goodbye to my family and what I mean. I was allowed 7 photos. So I'm looking at the photos of my mum, dad and sister and girlfriend. I'm just getting really sad, you know, I start crying. I'm thinking my mum's going to get a call saying he's killed himself.
Yeah.
He slashed his wrist in a jail cell. I couldn't bear the thought of doing that to my family.
Oh, that's nice.
That's what stopped me from doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I think I can see parallels between us. Like I contemplated suicide as well, and I didn't really rationalise it at the time. But then when I was inside, I could kind of think it over a bit more clearly. Yeah. And I think the reason I didn't kill myself was exactly the same thing. I couldn't do it to my family. Yeah.
Would you say that thinking about suicide is actually something that most prisoners probably do, and it gives you a sense of control over the situation because you've got an option then that you can control?
Yeah. I'm not sure if most prisoners think about it. Depending on the prison and the situation, maybe. I'd say a lot of them definitely think about it because it's such an awful situation and you have such a lack of control. You just feel like you're, demasculated, and you just feel like you're nothing effectively because you can only do things when other people tell you to, or you know, even try and talk to screws and stuff, they just ignore you, and you don't feel like you're human. And then after a while of that, it's just, you know, it can get really, really dark. So it kind of makes sense that a lot of people would think, well, at least I'm not going to kill myself. I think about killing myself, and no, I'm not going to let them get to me. I imagine that's where a lot of the us and them mentality come from. Yeah,
I was watching Shawshank Redemption last night, and it was sad that the old boy got out, didn't he, after 50 years, and then he couldn't cope, so he then killed himself when he was out.
Institutionalised.
Institutionalised,
Sometimes it's like that. I met a good couple of lifers who seemed heavily institutionalised, where I think they might struggle when they get out.
There was one where I was at, he got out, he'd done 25 years, and he couldn't cope. And he just turned himself in for another murder and got another life sentence.
You joking?
Yeah, old guy, Couldn't cope.
Of all the things to do as well to get turned back in, murdered someone.
Then he knew he'd never have to get out again.
Wow, that's crazy.
How sad is that?
That's so bad, yeah. That's a testament to how poor the rehabilitation process and the resettlement process is within prison systems. We properly integrated the last part of people's sentence into being a resettlement thing. Then they would handle things a lot better than just the sudden push out the door, here's some money, crack on.
Yeah, they give them $50 gate money, it's called in America, and say have a nice life, but they're conditioned to come back, keeps the prison in business.
Yeah, oh really?
Yeah, $50,000 a year of taxpayers' money per prisoner.
Per prisoner?
Yeah, they're like commodities.
I think it's more here. Oh no, I think it's...
Yeah, it is, it's 40-something thousand pounds a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, to house a prison in the UK.
Damn. That's a lot of money for taxpayers to pay, so you have to keep them coming back somehow, I guess. Horrific time, going to this really dark moment in your life, contemplating suicide, and then, you know, what happened? What did you find some strength from somewhere, or did you just decide to change? Or I
credit being pushed to the brink of suicidal insanity with forcing me to look inside myself and examining my past behaviour. And I went on this fantastic journey through literature. I read over 1,000 books in just under 6 years. A lot of the originals in philosophy and psychology, something like what you've mentioned, you know yourself. That was one of my favourite quotes. And it changed the way I view the world and the way I view my value system. because drugs had put this cloud in my head that I didn't know was there, that scrambled my thought processes.
Yeah.
And once that cloud had lifted, and I was thinking, how on earth had I put myself in these dangerous situations, and wondering how on earth I was still alive.
Yeah.
And all that soul searching then led to me going in this new positive direction now.
That's really good. It's incredible how you went down to pretty much as low as you can get.
Yeah.
To suicide contemplation, I guess, is as low as anyone can really get.
Yeah.
And then just at that point, you managed to just pull it back with. I mean, it was essentially reflection and just considering everything and a bit of philosophy and stuff. But
'cause what I've noticed is a lot of people with addiction issues, they want to give up, but they won't give up until they've hit rock bottom. And that's the turning point for them.
Yeah.
And it was for me. That was my rock bottom.
Yeah.
I was off the drugs, but psychologically, that was the rock bottom.
Yeah.